so fun.
Go in,
I
please
love the
go in.
setup.
Oh, thanks. Go and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Hello fellow Leggers, thank you once again for joining us in the heart of London's West End, where we are visiting the London Coliseum.
And we are seeing the Broadway smash hit musical, now transferred to London's West End, On Your Feet, or On Your Feet! Exclamation mark.
So as usual, stick around to hear all of our thoughts.
Find out how many stars,
Whether it's break a leg
or leg it.
Coliseum, home of the English National Opera. Every summer they kind of give it up for, it's been the theme, they give it up for a musical.
For a few years now, since Sweeney Todd, I think, was
Bow
the first.
of Hell was here as well.
Chess was here.
Chess was here as well.
And now this. So let me tell you a little bit more about On Your Feet.
Okay.
It's a jukebox musical based on the lives and music of 26-time Grammy award-winning husband and wife team, Gloria and Emilio Estefan.
Okay.
Now, their back catalogue includes such smash, epic Cuban fusion pop hits as Conga.
Yes.
You know it?
Yes.
One,
Are they
two-
going to make a conga? That's what I want to know.
Well, we'll find out. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Rhythm is Gonna Get You.
Rhythm is gonna get you.
And of course, the title song, On Your Feet.
Yeah,
now, the
okay.
musical received its world premiere in June 2015 in Chicago,
Okay.
transferring to Broadway later that same year, where it played over 700 performances and was nominated for a Tony Award before closing in 2017.
Okay.
In this production, which is directed by the same as the Broadway production, one of my favourites, Jerry Mitchell.
He's done loads. Hairspray.
Yes, Legally Blonde.
What else?
Kinky Boots,
Kinky
so
Boots.
much. I mean, they just keep coming
Big
and coming.
shows.
Big shows. I love him. I mean, he's a fantastic director and choreographer, but he didn't choreograph this.
Okay.
Just director on this one. And in the lead role of Gloria herself is Christie Prades. Now, Christie was the Broadway understudy for Gloria. She also toured the US with the show, and now she's here with us in London.
And she has just today been nominated for the Joe Allen, is it Best West End Debut Awards?
Which
Or
is
nominee?
amazing.
It's
The
a nominee, right?
Stage Awards, which is brilliant
Yes.
for her. She was at West End Live as well, and she was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
was.
2 hours and a bit, maybe half, I don't know. It's got an interval, so you'll be catching us again for the 30-second interval breakdown.
And stick around to the end to find out how many stars and all of our thoughts. And I'm really interested to know whether there's going to be a mega mix. There's always a mega
it's a
mix.
jukebox musical, right?
And whether you're going to have to get up on your feet come the end, Leg Simon.
I'm reluctant, but it's in the title, so maybe I should just let it go now. I'm going to be congering out the door, I'm sure, but a Latin vibes.
We've come to the interval, which means it is time for the break and leggers. 30-second interval breakdown.
What do you think? Well, it's an absolute bop, isn't it? I mean, it's a sort of carefree Friday night out sort of a show. The music's humming, I'm feeling Latino vibes. The story's simple but effective, but it's the music that's carrying the show. Those voices are great. It's look to see.
I absolutely agree. I don't think there is any more energetic, lively music than Latino music. It's just so passionate, and the choreography to go with it is full of energy. Interesting to find out about their story. It's moving along and... Oh, Leggers, we've come to the end. It's raining here in London.
I'm not
Typical
feeling
English
so
weather.
sort of Cuban heat anymore. I'm feeling a bit washed out, to be honest with you.
We've got to say, stick around to the end, because come the end of the show, we only went on stage.
I know, right? And we got to meet a couple of the cast, so stick around to the end and find out what they had to say. We had a couple of minutes with them.
Can we say who we met? We met
Go on, then.
Gloria, who was played by...
Gloria is Christie Prades.
And also Emilio.
George Ioannides.
We only
and
saw them for
he
a couple of
was
minutes,
lovely.
but they're lovely. Got to ask them
Yeah.
a few questions, so stick around to the end
Yeah.
to see that little chat on stage.
Absolutely, but let's
I
talk
wanted to
about...
do the conga.
Yeah,
I wanted to
we
get them
didn't
and
get
do the
time.
conga.
That was
but
all in the plan, wasn't it? But
It
do you know
was.
what? You've just got to roll with the punches. And talking about rolling with the punches, this show has some punchy moments. It's emotional, and it's told a story that I didn't respect or know enough about. And
Yes.
I think, actually, I've got this even more respect for the Estefans because they've paved the way for so many Latino artists that have come since, and it's something that you would only know if you're really a big fan and know their story, or you saw this show. And that's the power of musical theatre. It opens your eyes to a whole different side of a story you think you already know.
So I guess we're talking about the elements of the show. within the story, we're seeing how they struggled to break through the Latino music, I guess, how they're being rejected. No, we don't have that Latino, or just pigeonholed into Latino. There can be no crossover. You've got to stay in your genre.
Because the Latino radio stations and their public, they wanted a more Latin sound, and the American audiences wanted a more American sound, and they had to fight tooth and
for the right to be heard,
just to say, do you know what? Music is universal.
So we've got that in there.
Yeah.
And we've also got some family battle. We could get a bit of story backgrounds about what the parents were like, what they've come from. There's also a big segment in the third act, I don't think it's any spoiler if you know it, about a horrendous kind of coach crash that they had.
Yeah.
And Gloria Estefan was nearly, I guess
nearly
it was...
paralysed. I mean, it almost robbed her of her career and her
robbed her
mobility.
of her life, nearly, but she survived. But then, absolutely, being nearly paralysed, not knowing what was going to happen.
So,
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I did, yeah, but I'm
Obviously in my
just
bubble.
more aware than you, generally.
So that was like interesting to see that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So some interesting stuff.
In terms of the show, it's got some great emotional moments. It's about a struggle. It's got all the elements that you would hope a musical of this type would have. That being said, there are other jukebox musicals out there. Jukebox
musicals.
Jukebox music. I've had a cider. Can't say it.
There are other jukebox musicals out there,
which I just think are a little bit more edgy. This is a more of a family-friendly take, is what I would say. It's inoffensive, and as a result, maybe comes across a little bit wet at times.
Talking of wet, I think we can drop.
Oh, are we out of the rain?
Yeah, we're out of the rain.
That's a good job, isn't it?
Okay. I agree with you. It doesn't quite have the grit of Jersey Boys. No, that ain't a family-friendly show.
No, it's not.
But even, I guess, Beautiful, I feel it's got a bit more grit. Like, there were some bits that I thought were overlooked. There's the grandma who was this real pinnacle character to Gloria Estefan, and yet she's gone in the blink of an eye.
Yeah,
and I thought, do you know what? We're back again. We've got our light back. So what was he saying?
He's saying the grandma is a bit
real
the
pinnacle character.
Yeah,
but you love her.
Yeah.
Like, she really pushes Gloria Estefan.
And she's the comedy relief as well. She gets some great comedy moments.
Yeah, and then suddenly we're just told in the phone call, on our phone message, I think
that she's not going to be there anymore. Let's not spoilers.
Well, no, I could see it coming.
Yeah.
But I was more disappointed that they didn't make something of it. I just like, is she? Is that character? Is she? And I thought, do you know what? That must have been more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would have liked to have felt that.
I'd like to have felt the fallout.
And there's just a couple of bits that I thought, I would have liked that to have been explored a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. But I think what you can't disagree with is the music is phenomenal.
I was saying Latin music. That's why in Strictly Come Dancing, Latin, that style of music. Strictly Ballroom, Strictly Come Dancing
has usually a bit of everything, right? But you think,
but I'm talking about the Latin genre.
Really jump out.
The movement is frenetic and energetic. You can't help but fight. I'm thinking of West Side Story, America. Again, that Latin spirit. That whoa. There's just something in the music. There's something in the brass and in the percussion that you can't help but get up on your feet.
It's compelling is what it is. It speaks to an almost animalistic urge to move is what I would say. It's primal almost.
There's no other genre of music, I don't think, that has that real, get up on your feet. Is there? I was thinking.
I mean, if you
pop,
think there is, go
rock,
down.
No,
but it's
there's nothing.
We need
out
to get
there
the brolly out again, guys.
So just because of the style of the music, it drives so much.
Yeah, it really does.
What else have we got to say?
I would say let's move on to some of the performances.
The cast is so energetic. Just what they're asking to do, it has real punch.
Yeah.
Where are we going to start at the top?
Let's talk about Christie Prades at Gloria Estefan. This is someone that is clearly by now very comfortable with the material and born to play this role. She embodies Latin spirit. I thought her acting choices were strong and bold and believable, which when you're acting through when you're acting through songs sometimes is hard to do, but she nailed it.
Yeah, she's lovely. Lots of nice energy, connected really well with the audience. Everything you would expect.
Yeah, and I mean,
everything you would love.
Big shoes to fill. Except saying you're going to play Gloria Estefan. I mean, my God,
absolutely.
I don't envy her at all. Now, George Ioannides, I want to say I've got that right, as Emilio Estefan.
He had such lovely tone to his voice.
Yeah, I'd love to see him in anything and nothing.
I believed everything that he did.
Lovely.
Really grounded.
Yes.
He's just a really nice guy, a perfect leading man.
Yes, and believable. I thought their chemistry was true and realistic, and that's difficult to. Also, sometimes you can just cast people wrong, but they've cast it so right here.
There was passion between
them. They found
them.
two people with passion. Let's also mention the grandmother, Karen Mann, as Consuelo.
She's a beautifully written part. She
Yeah.
wins the audience. She's got all the funny lines and she delivers them really well.
Palm of your hand, she is. Just with that sort of. She's everybody's grandma.
She is.
She is.
She was great.
Let's also talk about
the mum?
Magdalena Alberto as Gloria. Now, I mean.
Bit of a Mama Rose in there and an anti-Mama Rose because she's not quite pushing her daughter, she's like pulling her back.
Yeah.
But she was the star, or she had the opportunity to be a star, but it didn't quite happen. She was told messages from her parents that family were more important.
She almost stole the show for me, guys, I've got to say. And the way that she played the older, sort of jaded, bitter, vulnerable, desperate mother, to then this young, sprightly woman that she was with the world at her feet that was untimely and unfortunately robbed from her, was just completely believable. And I just really felt for her story. And as for a performance, I mean, can that woman move? She's Janie D level of excitement when it comes to movement.
Great.
Can she sing? She can sing anyone else under the table. In fact, Break a Legger's nomination for Best Supporting Actress for me.
2019 Break a Legger nomination.
For Madalena Alberto. You would have seen her in Evita, which she played at the Dominion in 2014. She was also in Aspects of Love at the Southwark Playhouse. And now she's here in a piece which suits her so well. Please come and see her in that.
Yes, okay, there you go.
I also wanted to mention one ensemble member that caught my eye every single step of the way, and that was Dornita Smith.
What was it about Dornita Smith?
I don't know. Do you know when someone just has the X factor and you can't take your eyes off them and they just, something about them draws you to them? She gets a little bit more to do than everybody else because she plays the physio in it.
Oh, okay, I know which one you mean.
But she was just, I loved her choices, I loved her energy, I loved her smile, I loved her, the way she held herself throughout every single scene and in every character she played, I loved her.
Fantastic.
I'm just nipping back 1 second, it's important to mention the dad as well, played by Elia Lo Toro, who played Jose Fajardo. I thought he has a really tough job, actually.
You see him at different points in his life and technically afterlife as well. So I thought he played that really well. He played it really well, but I thought also in terms of the writing, it's really nice to see that part in different phases of his life.
Yeah. Creatively, I mean...
Can I talk about the music? We've talked about the
we
music.
already have, but
I mean, as in the band, I thought were great. The best brass frontline I have seen. I don't think we've got the band lineup, but in terms of the saxophone, in terms of the trombone, and in terms of the trumpet, they drive this style of music, and they were fantastic. Boy, did they ring out big and loud and exactly what it should be. The percussion was full of heart and soul as well.
Yeah.
I thought that was absolutely brilliant, and to amplify all sound design to get that all out there.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Sound design, Andrew Keister. That's the point. You've got to be able to feel it. There's so many times we've gone to see a piece where I've said, those opening notes or those bits, I want it to vibrate through me. I want to actually become one with the music, and I did because of the strength of that orchestra.
And because it was amplified really well. It's a big house, it's the Coliseum. It's almost as if there's a swimming pool between the front row of the auditorium and the stage, where there's usually a huge orchestra pit for these big opera pieces.
Steve Canyon Kennedy also sound design, but I want to mention Kenneth Posner for lighting.
Boy, were there a lot of lights.
A lot of bloody lights. No expense spared.
Well, every single light you could imagine, everywhere moving on. It was like a concert, especially at the start. I was thinking, wow, these are some big concert sequences almost.
Yeah.
What do you think of the set?
Well, the set I thought was practicable. I would say
practicable.
Yeah, I mean it's not overwhelming. It's not big set pieces. It's trolleys and slides, and that's it, really.
I thought it suited it, but at times I thought it was a bit clunky.
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't want to see that sofa again. If you've seen it, you know what I mean. If you've seen it, you know, guys. If you know, you know. but I didn't want to see that sofa
It wasn't
again.
quite as smooth as I would have liked it. Some really nice moments and some really nice lighting within the set, and I could see the idea they were going for, and it did help it move very fluidly, and I do like it when
quick.
things move quick and fluidly.
Absolutely.
But there was just something that was a bit clunky about it, for me.
I think Jerry Mitchell's direction here is allowing space for the story. Like, what I felt is it's very sort of loose in its direction. It just felt to me that we're
Loose
gonna...
in its direction?
Yeah, like it's not over-directed. It didn't feel... There's some pieces where I think, why has the director decided to add that there? There was nothing here surplus to requirements.
Nothing you thought was out of place?
Nothing I thought was
okay,
out of
just
place.
right. Choreography.
Choreography by Sergio Trujillo.
Boy, is there some energy.
Trujillo. Seriously, guys, I wish I spoke Spanish, but I don't. He got a nomination for a Tony Award for this.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
you can tell why, because it's full of lifestyle. There was one point when they did this lift, and the guy kind of swung this girl around, and her head, I swear, was this far from the ground, like swooped round.
Death-defying
I was
choreography.
like, whoa, how do you trust your fellow dancer to like not hit the floor? Surely is there some kind of helmet underneath all of that hair to
Underneath
make
that
sure?
wig?
Yeah, because like the precision of these moves and what they are asked to do, it's especially I found it more in the first half. The second act, and as we go into kind of third and fourth act, although it's the second act, kind of the tempo comes down quite a lot. But in the first act, it's full of energy.
It really
and
is.
Passion.
He also won an Olivier Award for Memphis, which was fantastic.
Okay.
Yes, so I think
Is there anything
that's
else
it.
we want to
No,
mention?
I'm going to wrap it up.
Okay, well, I guess you're probably wondering how many stars. Before we do, don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, please, and hit like if you're there. Let us know, because we can have this conversation in the car. For On Your Feet, we are going to give 4
stars for this piece.
It's completely commercial, it's completely shameless, but it's completely a great night out that I think is suitable, and I just think it's accessible as a piece of theatre.
I think if you know this music, if you're coming to have a good time, you will enjoy this. Songs you know, performed really well with a lot of energy, and it happened, leggers. They got us up on our feet at the end of the first act.
I know, I was congering with the cast
We were
at the
right
end of
in
the
the
first
aisle,
act.
and we
they just
turned to
thought,
each other and we were like, do you know what, you only live once.
Life's for living, guys. If you're going to join a Conga line with a West End cast, you may as well do it for On Your Feet.
You're only here once, so
You're
we're
only
up
here
on our feet dancing before the end of the first act. Come the end of the show then, it ended on a nice kind of ballad moment, and then it was like, time for the mega mix.
Time for the mega mix now.
And
what is a good jukebox show without a
everybody
mega
was
mix?
up on their feet. Songs that we hadn't even had in the show.
Yeah.
Was it Can't Stop the Beat? No,
No, you're thinking,
what is
turn
it?
the beat around.
Yeah. So and there were still
Hear
songs coming. I
percussion.
was like, what? This was them?
Turn it up. Oh, sorry.
Everlasting Love as well. I was
Yes.
like, what? This is
Yeah,
them as well.
they're
So the
all
numbers
there.
keep on coming.
They keep on
And
coming.
I think if you know the numbers, if you want to dance, then this is the show for you to come and have a good time.
Don't be like us and have to come and sort of tear it apart. Just let your hair down, guys. We're the break legs. Just what I think.
And it's just what I think. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you, so comment down below. Stick around now for interviews with
yes.
the West End cast. We're joined by the amazing George and Christie, who play Emilio and Gloria Estefan in On Your Feet.
That was a nice little dialect right there.
What a
Estefan.
Estefan. I'm trying to channel my inner Cuban.
I see
That's
it,
what I'm
I
doing.
see
We've
it.
only got you for a couple of minutes, so I'm
Yes.
really keen to know, like, for Gloria
Well, no,
Estefan-
stop, before you say
Whoa,
anything.
what's
can
going
I
on?
just say, we have in our midst a Joe Allen Award nominee.
Today announced
Yes.
the best debut.
Stage debut.
That was quite a surprise. I was not expecting that.
London clearly loves you. How are you finding it here in London?
Oh, I love it. And with this cast, I love to call them like my new friends and to have people to come back to. London's been amazing. And the audiences, I mean, you saw how they were.
Yeah.
That's every single night.
That's
They've been
incredible.
To
It's
literally
such a
get people
feel-good
up on their
show.
feet.
Yeah.
You
As the
can't-
title says.
Yeah.
But
Literally
you
on their
can't
feet.
help yourself. It's so compelling to just get up there and enjoy the music and feel the
Oh, yeah.
music. And that was an absolute joy for us. So thank you to
Oh my
both of us
gosh,
for
thank
bringing
you
it
Can I
guys
come
alive.
with my question now?
Yeah,
So
you can do
Gloria
your
Estefan,
question now.
Like, her grandma was obviously a big influence to push her and drive her ambition. I'm interested to know, for each of you, Who's been there? What's the driving ambition?
Yeah,
What is it? Is it someone or something on the spot? No preparation, no pressure.
Like Consuelo to Gloria. My mother. Oh, she's gonna be happy. Mom, look.
Hey, Mom.
Okay, you know. My mom's
Okay.
the actual star. She's the one who's so supportive. Like she's the one who'll be on Instagram and like post all the pictures, and she's very proud, and she's always pushed me to be here. So.
Amazing.
Oh,
And you, George,
fantastic.
what's your influence?
Yeah, I would say for sure my family, but beyond that, I've always wanted to make my country really proud, so that's always kind of been my
Yes.
drive,
You have
to
to
be
just
honest.
meet his dad. His dad is
My
like
dad
my
is
mom.
crazy as
Oh,
well, but yeah,
really?
but I've always had the support of my family, and I'm very lucky for that.
Amazing.
But Cyprus is who we're representing.
Cyprus.
Cyprus,
Go. I
give
used to
it
go
up
out
for
with a
Cyprus.
Cypriot, but that's another story. We'll talk about that.
Minutes.
We'll talk about that later. We've only got 2 minutes. So, if
Awesome.
you had to pick one number from the show, what's your favourite number? What is it that sort of you think, wow, I can't believe I'm in a show like this? It's all come to life.
For me, Mi Tierra is my favorite number of the
Okay.
show.
Beautifully
From the
sang.
lyrics to the dancing to everything, to Madalena, Alberto as well. She's incredible.
she,
She's amazing.
So that
Her
is
leg.
definitely the highlight.
Right, her leg, right?
her leg,
It's
that
nothing.
Oh,
leg
yeah.
She's got
deserves an
some,
award.
That's
she's got
right.
some moves.
That leg.
Yeah.
And for you,
Definitely.
what's your highlight?
I mean, I really miss doing that number, but I really love Tradición. It's the opening number with the fountain, and everybody's just filled with so much color and joy and culture and community.
Yeah.
I love the opening.
Sets the scene so
Yes.
well.
It's
Well,
amazing.
that was really quick, but thank you so much for
Thank
spending
you for
some
stopping
time with us. It's
by.
lovely
Thank
to
you,
meet you.
guys.
Keep up
All
the
the best
great
for the rest
work.
of the
Come and
run.
see on your feet with
Please.
these amazing cast, and we'll catch you again in London. You'll be back in London in no
Oh,
time,
I'm
guys.
hoping so.
Yeah, the
Love
next
y'all.
show's lined up.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.